Welcome back to the Angus Report and our special coverage from the National Angus Convention and Trade Show. The 3-day event brings together quality-minded beef producers for education and networking with other cattlemen and women from across the country. Back for its second year, Angus University, sponsored by Merck Animal Health, is among the event's most popular presentations and serves as a reminder of the impact one operation can have on the quality beef revolution.
And it all starts with quality, and I've always believed there's a place at the table for quality, and no matter what service you're in or product that you have for the consumer, we're all in the business of providing a great eating experience for the consumer. That's what we're all about, and I believe that if you have a great mission in life to try to help people, and that is beginning with the consumer and then also the producer, providing that farmer or that rancher or woman out there who is really trying hard to improve the genetics of their herd so that they can be profitable. And the Angus breed is so good and so powerful and so dynamic in the terms of what we can do from the genomic side, but also the stories that we have within the breed of men and women that are giving their life to and so devoted to the breed. It's just great stories, and great stories help move people.
Regardless of what business they're in, is if the only thing that you're talking about focusing on, glorifying, promoting, or marketing is a product, you're eventually going to fail. Because no matter how good any product is, somebody will always come along with something better or something similar with the same attributes, and they'll sell it for less, and eventually you get priced out of a market. As a business owner, as a business person, as a business, as an organization, you have to stand for something that transcends the product being sold in ways that resonate with people, in ways that get people to feel so good about what you're doing that they tell others. Look at all the physical attributes of your business. What can we do to ensure that this is what pops out, that this is what people see first, and that this is what people remember? The last thing anybody that competes for a living would ever want to have happen is that they be confused with somebody else. You look just like someone else, you talk like they do, you present yourself like they do, therefore you're them. And why would you ever want that to happen? That's where commodities come from. I'm a huge believer in Angus beef. I'm a huge fan, but I also know we need to make sure everybody knows that that's who we are, that's what we stand for, that's what we represent. There's a reason the world loves us. We just got to make sure a lot more people love us and that they don't lose that love they have for us. But if we want to see something sustainable here that is going to be as vibrant 10, 20, 30 years from now for our kids as it is now for us, that means we need to get active and involved. We need to take a personal stake in this.
One of the things that we all enjoy is we enjoy raising Angus cattle, but we also have to sell them. And to sell them and do so as successfully as possible, we have to be able to communicate the points of uniqueness, the points of value about the Angus cattle that we're raising. And what we've tried to focus on is identifying how their individual brand delivers on a promise, how that promise of how the cattle are going to perform, how that brand that they deliver in their messaging to cattlemen communicates the value in relation to the price that they expect to receive for their cattle, and how then ultimately we also communicate and deliver on a consistent basis those things that end users, or in this case, that producers, cattlemen, have come to expect from an individual ranching operations cattle and performance program.
Part of the cattle industry's most dynamic event is an educational component, and live cattle in the case of the Vision 2020 Innovation Workshop. Workshop speakers showed attendees real-world applications for genomic technology on their commercial operations. We check in now with Kent Anderson of workshop sponsor Zoetis.
The theme of our meeting was Visions 2020. Visions 2020 having two meanings. First, the vision for where we want to go in the next 5 years, relative to both the genomic predictions that we have on animals as well as their visual appraisal, and then also just thinking about what we need to do to best position our operations between now and the year 2020. Well, we started by working our way up the supply chain from the consumer and carcass to fed cattle and feeder cattle. then to commercial replacement heifer selection, commercial bull buying and selling from the breeder perspective, and then finally ended with seed stock females and how to use all the tools to front load genetic improvement from the seed stock producer downstream. And in real time, we were able to ask questions of the audience and then get their response as to which animals they would prefer to keep, which animals they might tend to want to cull based on visual appraisal. And then we followed up talking about how you use that in combination with DNA information. Technology is changing the way cattle producers can manage their animals, select them, mate them, and market them. And it's really part of a game plan that encompasses more than just genetics. It goes beyond that to reproductive management and some of the tools we have to synchronize and AI animals and take advantage of reproductive technologies so that producers can position themselves to be profitable and sustainable over the long term.
Hi, it's Dan Green. I'm in the ballroom of the Overland Park Convention Center at the National Angus Convention. Behind me you can see the magnificent stage and magnificent lighting and layout and design of the keynote address area of this magnificent convention. And what an exciting time it's been. And as I reflect back on 42 years of livestock journalism, probably covering 500 to even 1,000 industry meetings, how much they've evolved and grown, and to come to a magnificent event like this is a pleasure. And I can't help but reflect here today of this convention, because I have always, when I'd get the fever to get more education, maybe get a master's degree, I'd fortunately lose the fever before I actually got it done. But as I've attended Angus University and the plenary and keynote sessions and met with the people and seen all the new innovations presented in the trade show, it's almost better than getting a master's degree. It was so practical and so down to earth and brought me up to speed and up to date on what's going on in this great livestock business. Well, you know, as you hear this, it's already over. You don't have a chance to come. But I'd urge you to go to your calendar, whether it's on the front of the refrigerator or the back of the bedroom door or wherever you keep it, and get out November 9th, 2016 and mark the 5th to the 7th. That will be the National Angus Convention in Indianapolis, and mark it on there. And just be planning right now, a year from now, to be there and to go. You will be uplifted, and it'll be well worth your time.
That's all for our special coverage from the National Angus Convention and Trade Show.
We're glad you could join us here in Overland Park, Kansas. It's been a week packed full of activity, too much for just one episode.
That's right. We invite you to visit angusconvention.com for more in-depth news and highlights, or you can subscribe to the Angus Journal at angusjournal.com.
We'll be back next week with the Angus Report from Association headquarters.
Thanks for joining us.